What's up, D&L family? Hey, I wanted to come to you today because I got a very, very important subject to talk to you about. And that's about, right down there, heat pumps. This way, this way. Yeah, right there. See that heat pump right there? I want to talk to you a little bit about heat pumps and what's very, very important. Yesterday, the last 4 or 5 days, we've got tremendous amount of snow. And the cold weather, we're freezing. Rain, snow, all kinds of stuff. We've got a lot of calls about heat pumps making noises or not performing properly. I got a few pictures that I am actually putting right here that, as you can see, has a lot of snow, debris on them. The one thing you want to make sure about these heat pumps, in order for them to work properly, is you have to clean off the snow on the top of them. If you don't clean the snow off, what happens is, as you see in the picture right here, the fans cannot operate properly. They cannot transfer heat with snow on top of them. Now, this one's not as bad, but still has a lot of debris on top of that. Most likely, you'll find that when that happens and it starts to melt like it does, that water, that snow that turns to water will fall. Like, look at this heat pump right here. See the ice on the unit? You see the ice on the fan? When that heat pump goes to start up, you will find that that fan will become imbalanced. And when it's imbalanced like that, it actually will make a lot of noise. It'll make a racket like you've never heard before on the imbalance of the fans. It could actually be detrimental to your unit, because when that ice flies off, it has a tendency of going into the coil, which could damage it. Okay? So we had one in the office today that we tried to start up after getting our power back after 5 days. And I know a lot of you are probably still in the dark. And look, our hearts go out to you. We went out last night to a friend of ours and brought him a generator and a couple space heaters, because they're on day 5 with no heat. They ran out of wood, so they had no. So at 9:30 last night, the D&L guy was out there bringing one of our portable generators over there with some gas, and got them at least a couple portable heaters. And thank you to one of our neighbors, because they helped out with one of their portable heaters. But yeah, we ended up getting power back at 7:30 last night, and I know it's actually cold. So the one thing I want to tell you about this, if you see the snow like on these little mini splits, these are the worst, because if the snow gets up around the fans, they cannot get airflow through there. This particular unit that you're looking at right now is a unit that's not going into defrost. It's frozen. I mean, you do not want to see a unit like that. The unit that's here now, you want to make sure you clean the top of that off. So, we had a customer today call us and say, my outside unit's making a lot of noise. Well, the reason why I was making a lot of noise is a lot of people don't know to go out there and clean them off. You want to clean around the AC unit. You want a heat pump, basically, not AC, because you wouldn't run it in AC mode. But you want to clean that off. You want to get rid of that. And if you see that you've got ice on the fan, like this picture here, you probably don't want to run it. Suggestion is 2 things you can do. You can actually turn your thermostat to emergency heat. That will give you heat until we can get a warmer day, that'll melt off, and then you can restart it again. Or you can get a glass or a pot or something with hot water in it, and go out there and dump it on there to melt the ice off the fan blades. Once the ice is gone, you can start the unit up, and it should run fine. It shouldn't have any more vibration. You should be okay. So I just want to come to you today and talk to you a little bit about this, because we're getting a lot of calls about the units making noises, and this noise will vibrate throughout your whole house. It'll be in your ductwork. It'll be in the house itself, and you'll be like, what is that noise? What is that noise? We get this all the time. So my recommendation is to make sure the top of those units are cleaned off. make sure there is no debris on them, and definitely make sure if it's not running to make sure there's no ice on that unit. And if you happen to go out there with some water, I would highly recommend you turn the system off, OFF, from the thermostat. You do not want to dump water in there while the fan's running because you'll take a bath. And I don't want to see you take a bath. It'll be hot water, and you don't want to do that. Because if the fan starts up and you dump that down in there, the water's going to come splashing back up in your face. It's not going to be good. If you have a unit like this that's not going into defrost, you want to call us, because that's no good. That's a unit that is frozen up due to either not going into defrost or lack of airflow or low on charge. You do not want to do that. As far as this is concerned, you want to clean all that debris off the top of that, because you do not want that snow. Once it starts to melt, it's going to go down inside that fan, and once it gets there, if the fan stops, it's going to freeze on that fan blade. That fan blade from the factory is precision tuned right so it doesn't vibrate. So if you get any debris whatsoever on these fan blades, it's going to cause a vibration. It can wear out the bearings in the motor. It can throw the ice through the side of your condensing coil. It can do a lot of damage. So I would highly recommend you get a chance out in daylight to go out there and just make sure nothing on top of that unit. Make sure it's all clean. And, once we get up into 40 degrees, most of that ice will melt away. But at nighttime, it's going to be the worst. But yeah, if you need any help with heat pumps or you got any questions, you can reach us at dnlmechanical@gmail.com. You can look us up on Facebook at DNL Mechanical. And if you have any questions, you're more than welcome to put a comment there on our Facebook page. You can send us an email. If you need service, go ahead and send us an email and we'll get to you. We just got our power back on 7:30 last night, so we're catching up with a lot of emails from our customers that had problems over the last 4 or 5 days. They got their power back, the systems wouldn't come back on. Some of them need to be reset. Some of them, another thing I'm going to talk about, maybe in another video, is the gas furnaces. Make sure that your flue pipes are clean, because if you get any, like up on the roof, you got a flue pipe that goes up through the roof, and the snow has compacted around that flue pipe, and it's gone where you can't see the flue pipe anymore. A lot of times, we don't recommend running that gas furnace, because you can't get the exhaust gases out that flue pipe. Same thing on the side of the houses. If the flue pipe comes out by the ground and there's snow compiled up around that, the furnace cannot breathe. It's dangerous, very, very dangerous in your house. So, you got any questions about heat pumps? I'll do another video about gas furnaces later on. Please send us an email, dnlmechanical@gmail.com, or you can reach us on Facebook, or you can subscribe to our YouTube channel right here for more information on heat pumps, gas furnaces, indoor air quality, or any other questions you might have. This is DNL guy signing out. Stay warm. We'll talk to you soon.